Welcome to TowerXchange Meetup MENA. This is the keynote interview with TAWAL CEO, engineer Mohammed Alhakbani. Thank you again. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for being diamond sponsors of the event. So to begin the interview, can you please tell me what TAWAL has been doing since our last meetup at the start of 2020?
Thank you, Matthew. It's a real privilege and honor to be here among colleagues in the telecom tower industry. Also, we're extremely delighted here at TAWAL for being the diamond sponsor for 2020 TowerXchange MENA Meetup. Yeah, for the question, 2020 was a unique situation on all aspects, socially, economically. We at TAWAL had a lot of strategic objectives to achieve, and we were very successful in achieving that. Firstly, by achieving full autonomy from STC exactly 1 year back, the 1st of April, 2020. We were also successful in adding around 1,100 towers to our portfolio, both organically and inorganically as well. We were able to enhance our network availability from 99.7 back in 2019 up to 99.99 in 2020. Via initiative efficiency program, we were able to substantially reduce our capex and opex expenses, resulting in enhancing our overall profitability. We were able to acquire the IBS in building solution license from the regulator, hence leading towards TAWAL being able to offer such services in the market. And finally, we developed and got approved our international expansion strategy, and we start the execution by pursuing certain opportunities in the region. That's just a simple summary of a lot of things that has been done during the past year.
No, lots of activity in a really busy year. So there's lots of different areas there that I'd like to get into later and sort of pull apart a little bit more and get some more detail. But I think first I'd like to ask about the Saudi Arabian telecom tower market and how you see that developing. Do you expect to see the creation of other towercos, or do you think TAWAL will be able to acquire yet more sites in the market?
Yeah, I think the Saudi market is realizing the benefit of dealing with a tower company, the likes of TAWAL, in terms of time to market, in terms of efficiencies and cost reduction, be it on capex or opex, or enhanced availability of the network. For us as TAWAL, we were able to sign MSA last year with ITC, and we started the execution as well with STC. And we're pursuing other opportunities as well, in hopefully successfully signing MSAs with the other operators in the market. I believe at the end there will be some sort of consolidation where eventually all the assets and all the towers will be somehow consolidated, and I think TAWAL is well positioned to be in that leading role. And we see that kind of market trend already being done in Europe and Africa, where we find champions in those regions. And as I mentioned, I think TAWAL could play that pivotal role towards that kind of consolidation.
Okay, thank you. And so 2020, obviously a big year for everyone globally, not just TAWAL, because of the coronavirus. So what lessons has TAWAL taken from all of that disruption? How have operations changed at your offices, at your sites? And are there lessons that you're going to take forward and carry forward into your operations?
Yeah, I think the corona situation, gave us, opened our eyes and realized that the importance of the telecom industry in large, and having a sustainable and stable network, be it in the towers and the associated infrastructure. Yes, for TAWAL, we took quick actions, and we were very fortunate that for TAWAL, since the inception back in mid-2019, that we based our operations on a digital strategy and introducing technology that will help us to be more digital. That helped us during the pandemic a lot. So, for example, we established multiple talks in separate areas to maintain and sustain the network availability and monitoring of the network. We quickly automated a lot of several manual processes to be more digital. We adopted innovative technologies to better monitor the network and enhance the availability of the network as well. We decentralized certain activities, and we gave the team on the ground more autonomy in taking more decisions. One thing that we also did is we introduced digital signature as a mean to legalize the contracts with landlords and owners. That helped in speedy rollout of the 5G network during the pandemic year.
Yeah, and lots of stuff to take forward, and real resilience in your operations now. Obviously, I'd like to come on to 5G next. Obviously, improved connectivity critical following 2020, and Saudi Arabia is a leader in this. So how many 5G sites does TAWAL now support? What lessons on site design or operations can you give to other towercos watching this that are less experienced?
For TAWAL, we were very successful in enabling our customers in rolling out more than 3,000 towers in the past year. And we're planning for another 3,000 during 2021. And there's a lot of learnings, to be honest, when it comes to the 5G rollout. First of all, there's the commercial power, and connecting the sites to the grid is quite essential and important, since having a stable power connection is essential for providing the service. Adding the 5G antennas put a lot of load on the network and the towers, so unique, or let's say creativity in designing the tower and ensuring efficiency as well as reliability is quite essential. 5G consumes a lot of DC power consumption. It's 70% more than 4G equipment, and that means the sites needs to be able to accommodate more rectifiers and especially rooftops. So that requires some kind of engineering and design aspects to be considered during the rollout, as well that the 5G network is dependent on high downloads and high uploads. So the connectivity to the fiber backbone is also important, which TAWAL is now pursuing in combining and offering to our customers both the space on the tower as well as backhauling through fiber.
Okay, thank you. Now, TAWAL began by inheriting 14,200 sites from STC. You've since added, as you said, over 1,000 more. What are going to be the next steps for TAWAL in becoming a full digital infrastructure company?
Our vision is to become the leading ICT infrastructure service provider in the region. In addition to pursuing, consolidation and building towers, we're looking towards other means. In the short term, as I mentioned before, we obtained the license for the IBS. So we are now approaching our customers and working with various MNOs in offering that service to them. Also, fiber to the tower is something we're looking at and in exploring how we could combine it with our offering to be more feasible, as well as serving the plans of our customers, especially when it comes to the 5G rollout. So I think these are the two areas of focus in the short term.
Okay, thank you. Now, Saudi Arabia and the Gulf home to lots of ambitious mega projects, giga projects, smart cities. How does TAWAL plan to engage with these programs? How is the work of a TowerCo or digital infraco going to be different starting from the ground up on a new development?
Yeah, I think we're very fortunate here in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of giga projects, I would say. where cities of the future are being built. And for us, we're engaging with them and looking towards how we could offer our services in the best way and manner. I think these gigacities are preferring working with infrastructure service providers, the likes of TAWAL and neutral hosts, where our views could align together and in going gradually during the rollout and the build-up of those cities. I think the expectation is high from the likes of NEOM, Giddiya and others. And we as TAWAL could play let's say an arbitrator between both the service provider as well as the gigacity development. The challenge, I would say, is developing a business model that strikes the balance. Those cities are still, the occupancy is quite low. So there's no incentive for the operators to be present and offering that service. That's why having a tower or an infrastructure service provider, the likes of TAWAL, could play a very important role in bridging that gap and developing a very unique business model that will be successful for all parties.
Okay, so continuing to look at the medium and longer term, what are TAWAL's plans for international expansion? What criteria, can I ask, are you using to assess which markets and which partners are most appealing to you?
Yeah, thank you. I think we developed a very comprehensive international strategy that we're pursuing that depends on multiple criteria. The first being the geographic proximity to Saudi Arabia. That's one important criteria for us. The current macroeconomics of that region or city or country. The telecom industry and the potential growth, be it in the 4G and 5G. And most importantly, the regulation and how it's supporting having an independent tower company, the likes of TAWAL. These are the criteria, but at the same time, we're very open and seeking any other opportunities that might not fall directly within those criteria that I have mentioned, but will add value to our shareholders.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So finally, long-term vision. Where do you think it will take TAWAL in 5 years' time?
Well, as I mentioned before, the vision of TAWAL is to become the leading ICT infrastructure service provider in the region. So that's our vision, and we're going to pursue and work towards it, as well as operating maybe in other countries than Saudi Arabia. Launching other products adjacent to the tower service that we're offering today, being in the top quartile when it comes to efficiency, be it on the capex and opex, being excellent in project delivery and enhancing our processes to be more lean and agile as much as possible. And I would say also continue being a great place to work for our employees. So it's big ambitions. We have a lot to do, but that's our vision, and we're very fortunate of having a great team, and we see great prospects for TAWAL.
Yeah, no, and thank you for bringing so many members of your team to the event with you. We're going to hear lots about your plans in all these different areas throughout the next 2 days. So I just want to say thank you again for being diamond sponsors of TowerXchange Meetup MENA, and I hope you enjoy the event, and so does your team.
Thank you, Matthew, again for giving me this opportunity. I wish all the participants the best of luck, and hopefully they enjoyed the events and the multiple sessions that you have during the TowerXchange MENA meetup. Thank you.
Thank you.